Chris, what's up, bro? Gotta get some music going. Where we at with it today? Risa, what's up? Trying to find me some music before I get started. Probably should have had that already cracking. Young Neff. Yvonne, what's up, man? Oh man, Chris. Kelly, what's up? Oh man. Now why I can't see who's on my live in the group? I see 6 people. I need to see. Oh, boom. There goes everybody. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, y'all. I'm a little behind schedule. Michelle, let me say this. Everyone's been loving your bracelets. So anybody who's on my feed, these bracelets right here, these 2, and this one was made by Michelle Mori. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, y'all know it's okay. So, get at her. She can do the bracelets just like this. You know what I'm saying? So, Jennifer, yes. You gotta give me some more thought shirts, okay? Appreciate that. So today, well, you know what? I'm gonna give a few minutes, so I'm gonna give y'all a little fluff. Just a few things coming up. On September 27th, we'll be having something at Firewater. We're still working on the theme yet. If anybody wants to come up with an idea, shoot it to me, and we'll see if we can go with it. We'll also be having a Halloween party October 25th at Firewater. Just wanted to make you guys aware of that early. There's no event made for it yet, but we'll get an event out soon. In addition to trying to get a venue secured for Monday Night Football where we will all just meet and watch football every Monday night. Michelle just dropped her link. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is dating. We're going to talk about dating. Dating etiquette. Lights lit, right? Dating etiquette in today's world. Because right now in the group and on my page, we've seen a lot of people talking about like just voicing their displeasure with dating as a whole. So I really wanted to get this right. So normally I read everything off the phone, but there's a few things that I actually wrote because I wanted to break it down like into categories. So dating process. We're going to look at the dating as a whole, from top to bottom, where it starts, where it ends. We're going to do all that. So that's why it's going to be segmented. And today our focus is going to be on the online portion. And I chose online portion because typically that's where a lot of us meet people. I mean, we're online the most. Not necessarily like online dating like a website, but just through Facebook. So I compiled a list of, I guess, what the guys and the ladies decided were some do's and don'ts. Now, all of this, if I read anything that you have submitted. I'm gonna probably paraphrase it, some of it. So please be advised, it's not a quote. Also want to, I want to assume that, or I want you guys to assume that everything we do will be based on the goal, which would be a healthy relationship at the end of it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Do's and don'ts. Obviously, we have so many women in the group, so many active women in the group. I'm gonna just hop into some of the things that they identified as areas of concern. And what I want to do today is provide maybe some counterpoints, as well as maybe some advice for my brothers to ensure they have a successful online experience. Oh, you guys hear my fan? Wow. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had no idea you guys heard my fan. I love my fan. Hold on. That's crazy that y'all that it picked up the sound of the fan. Crazy. But all right, we got it. All right, let me just hop on real quick and see. I want to tag some people. All right. From the ladies, Lisa Upshaw. We're gonna start right there. Her, and these are not the biggest concerns. These are one of many concerns. That people do not answer all of the questions that they ask. So, for example, okay, we've already taken care of the fan, Kelly. Is the music too loud, guys? Is it? Let me tune it down a little bit. All right. Hopefully that is accommodating to everyone. Lisa Upshaw, she said her biggest concern is, thank you for tagging her, that all of her questions are not being answered. So she's having a conversation, right? And in the conversation, she asked 2 questions, I guess, in the text. And person A, which we call person A, only answers one of the 2 questions. So, with that being said, we now have a problem. This is an easy fix, and I know this happens a lot because I've done this. I've been guilty of this myself. So all we got to do here is just read the damn questions, answer them both, answer whatever. But sometimes, you know, we got a lot of talkers, and sometimes the talkers, they'll type a whole damn paragraph. Now, I mean, you still got to answer the questions. I still believe that, but we have to read the questions and take advantage of those people that are talkers. Because if you catch somebody that's a talker, you can keep that thing going. And that's what we want, because again, our goal is to have a successful relationship at the end of these questions. So guys and girls, please read your questions all the way through so they can be answered thoroughly, so you can get high success rate, especially if you're dealing with Miss Lisa Upshaw. All right, so I'm gonna try to alternate these a little bit. Okay, so that was more of a like a statement, but I'm gonna wait for feedback on this. Have you guys experienced this, and what have you guys done to offset this? Do you put the brakes on the person? Do you tell them chop it up a little bit, slow it down? What do you do? Miss Danielle, why don't you tell us what you do and what your experiences are? Pull this down some. So Michelle, are you saying that when you're texting someone via online, let's say via Messenger, you want one question, one answer, one question, one answer? Because I don't pick up the Teresa, pick up the phone and talk if you got to ask that many questions during text. So I think that we'll talk about time and convenience and how those tie in together, Teresa, here shortly. Leah, I don't think that there's a such thing as too many questions. Wait, so I know you guys on here, I have two fans. But the other fan is like way off. I know you guys don't hear that fan over the music. I hope that's just old. I'm gonna assume that that's old. And I wanted to say again that this wasn't necessarily a question. This was more of a statement. So a lot of these are going to be statements, not so much questions per se. I'm going to ask you guys if these things that you guys have experienced and what have you done in these situations. Yes, basically, unless you're asking me a book, then we need to meet up or call. Who do I have over here in Truth Be Told? Because this is all taking place on my page. Michelle, now look. To be conversational means that you have, it's not one question, stop, one question, stop. Now, and I think that that's part of our problem, that we have like these, I don't believe that they're realistic expectations. If I say, hey, how's your day? What'd you have for lunch? I gotta say, how's your day? Question mark, send, wait, your day was good. Okay, great. What did you have for lunch? Question mark, send. No, that's not free flowing. And you can have a free flowing conversation via text for sure. We never really ask questions. We just talk and things that we would like to tend to know to come out. Crystal, you're on my personal. Let me see what the group has to say. Well, Teresa said, pick up the damn phone. Tiffany, the statement is, essentially when you're asked a question, that you're not answering all of the questions. So maybe the person sends 3 questions in one text. Men, because this is Elisa saying from her perspective, are historically Lord have mercy, are just picking one of the questions out of the 3, and that's the problem. Excuse me for just a second. Hey, I'm doing a live. Can I call you back?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's where we are on that. Guys, read the question. Don't pick one. Answer it correctly. Tiffany, you got anything on that, Miss Walker? Teresa Sims, I'm not great at answering vague or generalized questions. Like, tell me about yourself. I freeze up and may not answer back ever. Ghosted. Well, damn. Well, how do we have a successful interaction there, Teresa? Because historically, I mean, that's what people are going to, that's exactly what they're going to say. Tell me about yourself. But, I mean, I guess, obviously it's a per case-by-case basis. Denise, I'm not always multitasking, so texting will not be good for me. I may skip a question, but not on purpose. Now, this is good. I think that if people identify with this and say, hey, let's put that out up front. If I'm at work, I may read it, but I'm trying to get back to you, But if all I can do is maybe catch the second or third one, don't jap out because I missed the first one. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's plenty fair. Texting is not a way to get to know someone. So Michelle, I think that in today's world, it's important. It's very important because a lot of people really just don't talk on the phone much anymore. Everyone's better on the phone. I mean, I think that goes without saying. You can read people's, their cadence, things that they're passionate about. Obviously, translates when you're on the phone, but we have to recalibrate the way that the way that we approach dating. It's dating today is not like it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and I think that we need to make changes accordingly. This is not the days where all you got is a pager and you run into somebody on at a skating rink and you sit there and talk to them for hours, and then those days are gone. If you require person-to-person contact, phone dates, texting is boring. I get it. It's not a one-size-fits-all, but we definitely have to be mindful of and that people are busy. Hell, school started today. People got small kids. They may not have time to talk. They may be cooking dinner. They may got time to pick up their phone, text, put it down, stir the spaghetti for the kids, whatever. I don't know. But again, I feel like we need to recalibrate that a little bit. Ashanti does not like talking on the phone. A lot of people don't like talking on the phone. Like if you want to talk, let's go to the boardwalk, walk the trail. Don't call me. Yikes. You heard it first. Colleen, let me see what you got here. Some people nowadays are so confident with 2-word questions and 1-word answers, they're not paying attention to the questions. Well, we gotta hold people accountable in that regard. If you feel like the conversation is disconnected, then that's when you gotta say, well, hey, call me, or hey, you got time to FaceTime me, or whatever, whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna slide on because we got a grip of. And again, I want to say before I go to the next question or the next statement, because these are not all questions. So, again, these are just things to be mindful of when you're online and pursuing someone, okay? When you're pursuing someone that you're interested in, online etiquette. So I'm going to just bring that up, every now and again, keep that to the forefront. Again, I'm going to try to alternate guy, girl. Steve Snow says, you need to keep in mind that you already have competition prior to you coming, so ask pertinent questions and don't assume you are the only one. That's from Steve Snow. I think this is something that everyone knows is true, but nobody wants to acknowledge. When you meet someone, you have to work your way up the totem pole. Tiffany, then call me when they go to bed. Okay. Fall asleep on the phone. I mean, some people like it. But, Steve Snow, keep in mind you already have competition prior to you coming, so ask pertinent questions and don't assume it's only you. Now, ladies, I want to ask you this. Historically, because I feel like guys are pretty transparent about this, but I feel like ladies are a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more, less likely to acknowledge that that the new guy is at the bottom of the totem pole and he literally has to work his way up, right? Crystal, it is definitely a competition. Absolutely, it's a competition. If I meet you, well, you talking to somebody. You ain't just sitting there twiddling your thumbs all day. There's always somebody. Now, I would like, is Steve on? Because I think the question here is, do you ask where you are? Is there a time where it's too early or too late to ask where you fall on the totem pole? I'd like your thoughts on that, people. Do you say, well, hey, I mean, how many other guys you talking to? If I ask you that, are you offended? Do you answer it without any hesitation? Kelly, you got the juice. Kelly be gunning them down. So if I ask you guys, hey, you know, we exchange numbers. I'm gonna just say day one because we may have a lot of text messages. If I ask you, hey, how many other guys are you talking to? Is that an offensive question? Is it appropriate? That's what I like to know. Not with me. I don't text anyone but my girls. Damn, Ashanti. Ask up front so you know where you stand. Know where you are in the pecking order. Crystal, I can't go there with you on how fine the guy is. Denise, I don't ask where I am. I ask where we're going from here. Okay. With that approach, have you found that to be successful, or have you found that something that bit you in the ass because you didn't ask up front? Has that ever been problematic for you? That's not offensive. Why, when you go on a date and casually talk to a person, they always needy? Okay. Miss Ewing, no hesitation. Okay, so it looks like we have to define talking, no time. You have little competition, but you're winning right now. You would be my response. You would be my response because he would be the one with my attention at the moment. It's very interesting to see some of the ladies' perspective on this. And guys, I think all my guys that are tuned in, I think that, I mean, there you have it. Ask the question up front. See where you are. My man Maurice says, I don't want to know about the other guys. Colleen says that most guys don't want to know that. Tiffany Walker says 1 day is too soon. I'm trying to think of myself. Do I ask this question? I don't think I ask it day one. I do think it's a valid question. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know. Yeah. I mean, because I mean, if you're, there's a difference between someone that's talking to a few people just chilling, and there's someone that's got something jumping on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, that might not be, the risk may not be worth the reward. But again, I can't tell you when to ask it, when not to ask it, but, whatever. Appreciate that, Steve. Yes, it's appropriate. Why would a man want to know that? Great question. Maybe I just answered it, but if you say, well, hey, if I say, man, how many people you talking to? I mean, you got a lot of guys running, you got a lot of action running through your phone, and I wouldn't word it like that, but for the sake of the live, that's what we're gonna say. I mean, if you're a busybody, I mean that doesn't necessarily say anything bad about you, but again, the risk may not be worth the reward for me. So I mean, I'd like to know. That's just a personal preference. I don't think it's good or bad, but if you're a competitor, you might want to know. But I'm gonna slide on down to Cheryl Kearns. Can somebody tag Cheryl Kearns? You know what? I will. Sex talk too soon. Big don't. Big don't. And I think, and I mean, this came up on a lot of the people's concerns list, a lot of women's concerns list. Sex talk too soon. Now this is the part that blows my mind. So a lot of these questions come from women, and again, the men's participation is probably 2 to 1. I mean, I'm sorry, the women's participation 2 to 1 on these questions. But and I'm not saying that these are things that I do, but I am going to play a little devil's advocate. A lot of people are very quick to say on their post, hey, I'm grown, hey, I'm this, hey, I'm that. And I get that. I get that. What's too soon? I mean, where do we draw the line on this? Do you tread lightly till 30 days? Where do you start? Where do you stop? I argue with people every day in my group about sexual content, and the first thing they say is, and I quote, "We are grown. We should be able to talk about anything we want." All the time. Makisha can attest to this because she's here too. Why we can't talk about sex every day? That's the first thing they say. Why we can't talk about it every day? So I think that if you don't want to talk about sex, and again, I'm not saying that this is okay, but what I am saying is that I don't think that women should blow men's head off because they do it. I think they should reel them back in, but don't discard the whole guy because he may jump the gun on something. Especially when we live in a world where that's honestly a lot of people, that's what they want to talk about all the time. And I'm not condoning this, but I am saying that this is something to be mindful of. There's 3,000 people in Truth Be Told, and I can tell you more than half of them present the argument we should be able to talk. So, I'd like some dialogue on this. James, what's up, my brother? Nicole, Maurice, talk about whatever you want. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Make sense? Steve Snow, if you're casually dating or not, if you're confident in your ability to get men or women, you may not want to know why me, because I'm looking for monogamy, and knowing that you have a lot of people or dating multiples, I asked within the first few days because I don't want to waste anybody's time. There you go, Kura. That Steve Snow summed it up beautifully. Kendra, I don't think there's a specific time, but a right moment. If it's in the air, then it should be taken. Okay. Well, Colleen, thank you. I think that a lot of people, we're so quick to, we live in such a dismissive society, we just wash our hands away when honestly the person just maybe need correction, guidance. You never really know. Let me scroll a little bit here because y'all got the jumping. Crystal said, I talk about it freely. All right, I appreciate it. Ashanti, it would slightly shift my interest with a ton of space for him to recover. The way I carry myself, I've never had the conversation pop up unless it's brought up. Okay, and that's from Ashanti. Sharita, I agree. Redirect the question, and when you're ready to talk about it, bring it up. Tyshawn, what's up, nephew? Kelly, let them talk. We the man hoes. So let me ask you this, women that have feedback on this. Do you guys ever talk about sex first? Do you ever bring it up first? How do you ladies bring it up? Because I mean we're human, Kimberly, I'm gonna slide over. While y'all answer that, I'm gonna slide over and read Kimberly here. I'm only turned off when the sex is vulgar. Otherwise, it's okay in general conversation. Talking about what you like or don't like and such is okay with me. Okay. Which Kimberly, I think that I like that. You know, I think that you can glaze over it without diving in, and still have a successful interaction. Sharita, when he brings up the sex topic, ask him, what's your status? Michelle, when I'm interested, I'm taking it there. You know what, Michelle? I fucks with you. Miranda, I never bring it up. Denise, yes, I have. Sex usually is brought up after talking about children. I can see how that's an interesting transition. I just think that I just don't think that it's sacred, and I think that that's the problem, that we kind of act like it's really sacred. And again, if we're talking about etiquette, do's and don'ts, you know, obviously, guys, don't jump the gun on it. Ladies, if you can, please, please, please reel the guy back in as opposed to cutting him off. He may not know. And I think that that's fair. Melanie, why are we bringing it up? Let's let things happen organically. Well, even if it happens organically, you still have to, I mean, it still has to be referenced somehow. Miss Williams, what's the point of bringing it up outside of asking what a person's status is and when the last time they have been to get tested and asking to see proof? Outside of that, a lot of talk isn't necessary. Well, Miss Williams, I absolutely disagree with you. I think that so originally we were discussing just how what's too early, but we definitely have to. I mean, we definitely should have the conversation. Yeah, I just feel like at some point it should be definitely had. Otherwise, you may set yourself up for failure. Right, agree, Whitney. Even organically, you have to talk about it. Tiffany, I try not to bring it up. Men get it twisted and think that because sex was discussed, we are having sex the next time we see each other. I'm gonna skip to something because one of the gentlemen, remember I said I was gonna jump lady, you know, woman, man. That was one of the things that came up from a guy's perspective, and I think that although you ladies may have plenty of reasons why to feel that way, specifically to Tiffany's situation, do not lump us all together. And I believe it was Maurice, which I believe Maurice is online. One of the things that the guys said that they needed, or don't want, is to be the last guy you talk with or messaged that may have had a 0 success rate. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That ain't got nothing to do with the next guy. And I think that what Tiffany is saying falls right in line with what Maurice's concern is, because everyone doesn't assume that. All guys are not like that. And I mean, I get it. You know, maybe the majority of your experiences predicate that, and I won't discredit anyone's experiences. But what I am saying is that I think it is wrong to say you had a failed conversation with Joe Schmo, and then you have an interaction with me, and then you say, well, hey, well, I'm not gonna touch this because Lance thinks we're fucking next week. That's not true. I don't, and I know a lot of guys like that. So what you've done, you penalized Lance for Joe Schmo's shortcomings. Let's see. Just because you talk about sex today doesn't mean you're having sex tomorrow. I agree, Whitney. Keish, I guess it's never been an issue. Whoa, shit's y'all going so fast. I guess it's never been an issue of discussion for me. I don't want any children. I get tested regularly. I don't understand why you have to learn, and I understand you have to learn your mate, no matter what you are told from any sexual discussion. Okay. So, Keish, we can talk about sex as long as we test negative and can prove it, or or is that the extent of what you're saying? We talk about sexually, so it's like, hey, do you want any kids? No. Can you show me your my chart results? That seems like a very rigid transition. Like, I don't feel like I need to show you my chart results to know if you ever had sex in a movie theater. I don't think that that's necessary. But, to each his own. I can dig it. Let me slide on over here real quick. Levette, hey, what's up? Steve, ladies, it seems comfortable talking about sex when they've already made up their mind that they want the man. If there's little interest, women will shy away from the conversation in the beginning because most think men only want one thing anyway. My man Steve. So I know it's been a while since I've done a live. Host of the night gets $5, right? $5. I cash app the shit straight to you. Steve Snow. That post right there. I'm gonna read it one more time because you didn't hear me. Ladies, it seems, are comfortable talking about sex when they've already made up their mind they want the man. If there's little interest, women will shy away from the conversation in the beginning because most think men only want one thing anyway. A few weeks ago, I had a conversation about, I posted in the group, do attractive people have life easier? And I think that this is one area where attractive people have a little bit more leeway with this. And I think that I agree with Steve that if the woman believes that there is a higher success rate or she is physically attracted to the person, they get a little bit more leeway. It isn't as quick to be dismissive as it is a person that may be considered unattractive. Right now, front runner, post of the night, right there. Me and my guy talked about sex for years and finally did the do until 4 or 5 years later. Well, there you have it. Proof's in the pudding. I like it when we got testimony. Kimberly. Oh, let me back up. Oh, no, okay. Kimberly, I've done it indirectly via talking without having restless nights. They do it every time. Okay. Well, I mean, and here's the thing. Women want to be pursued, but you don't want to be pursued sexually. Like, I kind of feel like, I don't know if it's all or nothing. I mean, we can say that for a whole nother live, but I mean, that's part of pursuit too. Just saying. Melanie, I don't think you should be having sex talk with someone that you're not in a relationship with. So that being the case, it would happen organically. Okay. Chris, I agree, man. It's good to see people in here, man. Tiffany, it wasn't 137. It had been several conversations, so I choose not to bring it up. It's not a penalty, it's a preference. Much respect. Everybody has a preference, and we want you guys to accommodate whatever the other person's preferences are. Understand it, respect it. Melanie says she does not agree with Steve. Cora, what comment did I miss? Let me go back up here. Make sure we get you straightened out. Oh, I did miss one. I'm sorry, because I turned my eyes here and then it's like boom. Women are projecting past experiences on the present ones. Yes, agreed. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. It is a necessary conversation. Okay. All right, so I think I got everybody there. Sorry about that. Kelly, after a few dates, a guy started sexting. So I asked him about his health. He said that it was a weird thing to talk about. I replied, if you can talk about sex, you should be able to talk about your health. Needless to say, that ain't going anywhere. On to the next one. Well, and I think that right now, at this point, everybody should have their my chart on deck. I mean, when and where you decide to disclose, choose to share it, that's a whole nother conversation. But I think that that's just as standard as having your wallet with you these days. And I think that today that's a perfectly okay question. Let's see here. When did testing come up? Yeah, my chart. If you have Novant, you have my chart. You can log into like my chart and it'll tell you like all your test results and all that shit. So that's what it's called for Novant. From a convo about sex. I think men only want one thing. Ashanti, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Are you saying that guys don't want marriage? They don't want a successful relationship? No, I'm not buying that. And I'm not buying that because everybody loves to have sex. So yeah, like my chart. Yeah, so you just gotta have it on deck, bam. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. Women like sex too. So what I won't do is let you turn this on us guys like that. People want to get married. People want successful relationships. People want to understand how your mind works. In addition to people wanting to have sex, because we're human. I think that's totally okay. All right, let me see here. Lily, I disagree. Interested or not, usually talking about it implies one is ready. Actually, I'm gonna have to disagree with that too. I disagree. Because again, you could talk about it today and not have sex for 4 or 5 years. Very good example, my good friend Whitney. Oh, all right. So Steve, let me slide over here to Steve. Steve is very active over here in the group. And for you guys that are in the group, I mean, you guys can hop on the group chat. But did she ask to have the sex talk first and then ask him about his health, or did she deflect this question about sex because she didn't want to talk about sex? So conveniently interjected the question about his health. I'm gonna read that again. Did she have the sex talk first and then ask him about his health, or did she deflect his question about sex because she didn't want to talk about sex? So conveniently interjected with the question about his health. That's good right there. Tabitha, let me read that. To me, a lot of men being To me, a lot of men being up sex to see how, or bring up sex to see how open some women are as well. Yet it could be seen with bad intentions or good. The voice will normally tell you if it is good if you listen closely. So maybe that's a conversation you have over the phone via instead of texting or messaging. I don't know. Melanie, that is what's wrong with 2019 dating. Think about it. Back in the day when women didn't show everything and men wasn't calling women bitches and hoes in music, etc., they had more respect for women in their courting process. The potential to have sex was a rare reward. It was valued. It gives you a chance to get to know the person. Develop a connection mentally before physical connection. Let the early sex be for side chicks. Wow. Now, that's a very good post. I don't agree with all of it, but it is a very good post. I think that Melanie, I think that what people should be, I think what's wrong with 2019 dating is that we're not patient people. And you know, you may be right in saying maybe we're not patient as it relates to sex. I'm gonna say this. They had porn in the 80s, they had porn in the 90s, they had porn in the 70s. I think that we live in a world where obviously sex is glorified, but it doesn't mean you have to have sex. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't believe that people in the 70s handled this any different. The only difference is they don't have the internet. I think if a woman found a man attractive, they proceeded to do whatever they wanted to do. I don't think that I'm not gonna just tack all of that onto 2019 dating. I agree that maybe sex is a little bit more accessible. But you know, we live in a world where people feel like they can do what they want with their bodies. And I mean, honestly, they've always had that choice. We just kind of emphasize it more these days. Let me slide over here. Somebody said patient how. That's facts, Lance. What Snow said, because they know within 10 minutes of a conversation. If a sexy man talks to me about sex first night, then I'm going to be like negative. But are you not going to talk to him anymore? Ugly guy brings up sex, you're going to be like negative and then be like, oh, he came at me wrong. Attractive guy brings up sex, you're going to say, chill out. Let's talk about something else. What are your plans for the weekend? Whitney, maybe I'm just a hornball, but no matter if I'm attracted to you or not, we can have a conversation about sex. It doesn't mean you get in the booty. Hornball. I like it. I'm going to use it the next time I have an opportunity to. Katie, if I'm saying it right, my chart. So because you were tested last month, you are clean. What about what you did since? Okay. Well, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I mean, all you can do is present it. What anyone does with the information is obviously beyond my control. But I'll tell you what. If someone presented their my chart to me and it was 10 days old, I would feel better than if they presented my chart and it was 30 days old. But I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, we could do that all the way up until what did you do before you got to my house? So, tough call. But I can dig it. Steve Snow, he brought up sex. I wanted to know his health to make an informed decision if I wanted to go down that road. He wasn't mature enough to discuss his health, just where he wanted to stick his... Crazy. Oh my God. So, everybody, please excuse me. This is my daughter. You know, it's first day of school. So, just give me just a second. Hello. Hey. How was school? Something different. Okay. Was it smooth though? Okay. You see any people you know? Okay. Any cute boys? So you won't date anybody to school because the breakup will be weird. Okay. Well, unless you're out and about, where are you gonna meet other boys at? They go to other schools. Church, extracurricular. Okay. All right. All right. I can dig it. Okay. Do you need anything? Okay. Well, I'm doing a live. So if you need anything, give me a call or text me. We'll get it to you. Did you try on the shirt? Okay. So you took the black one. Okay. All right. Well, I love you, and I will talk to you later. All right. Bye. Okay, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. I'm sorry. So what I missed here? Let me see. Okay. All right. Let me scroll here. Hornball. Yes. Team Team Hornballs. Yes, you guys are. And I'm gonna tell you, anytime I can use that, I'm going to. I need a partner to do the scrolling. Yes. It does take off. Let me just say that. Dwayne, some people could talk about sex without having any intentions on taking the action with that person. It will depend on the two people involved. Sup, Chris? I'll call the number. They have. Oh, okay, and then let you hear it on speakerphone. Flirtatious convo with someone you like. Log in then. Date and all. Oh my God. Sex is wonderful. What group? Oh, so I forgot. So for the people that are on my personal page, I have a group. We have a group. It's not just my group. We have a group. Truth be told, where we talk about this type of shit all day. Well, we try to talk about this shit all day. Not the sex part, but just different stuff. So if you're interested in being added to the group, just say add me, and I'll actually add you right now while we're on the phone, or while we're doing this right now. I'll just hop on and just add you on my phone. We all should be having some right now. Yeah, I support that. Tamara, if you have a lot of questions, exchange numbers and talk text. Messages do not provide the inflection of a person's voice and provide a complete clarity. Whitney says, and let me just say that this is why this is going to be like 3 parts, because we only three statements in. 3 statements in. So Whitney, I'm gonna say this. I don't really believe everybody thinks this, but I'm gonna just say it because she posted it. So I'm wondering, when y'all find out his clean bill of health, do you automatically have sex with him unprotected? She printed it, so yeah. I'm just reading it. Glenda, hey. Brittany, got you. All right, so let me get the scrolling here. Enough sex talk. Yes. Back to the questions. Boom. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna scroll. Look, I'm gonna just scroll all the way. Okay. Now, back to the do's and don'ts. So for those who just tuned in, we are discussing the do's and don'ts to ultimately get you to a successful relationship at the end of the tunnel. So obviously, one of the don'ts is discuss sex too early. You can obviously read by the comments that there's really no right or wrong. I guess it is literally just a case-by-case basis. And we'll probably have to revisit this maybe on a Thirsty Thursday edition of dating. Yes, Yolanda, I am. Should just be taken off. Like, taken off. So guys, chill on the sex talk. Conservatively, wait till she brings it up. You might be in a good spot. My boy Dalron, DJ Joplin. He says, and I've experienced this firsthand. I always want to say when I experience it firsthand, because then I really know it's real. Do not talk to me like I owe you because you're talking to me. So essentially, don't act like you're better than me. Now this is really funny. Is Bree on here? I did see Bree, right? Let me see. Let me see if I can find her. Because Bree and I had this conversation in detail. Let me see if I can get her added. I thought I saw her, but I'm not sure. Let me get her tag. I'm sorry, y'all. God dog it. So DJ's statement again, and this is essentially for the ladies. I'll repeat it. Don't talk to me like I owe you because you are talking to me. Okay. So I often see women. Crystal, he's not hurt. I often see women, and this is really probably gonna go off the track. I see women often speak like they're too good to talk to someone, and then they speak down on the person as if it's a privilege that they are committing any of their time. Now, if this is how you feel, it's absolutely okay. But I think that there's a right way and a wrong way, because we're discussing etiquette. There's a right way and a wrong way to speak to someone if you feel like, for lack of better words, you are out of their league. I think that oftentimes, and I don't want to go at the ladies about this, but oftentimes this is very common with women. I don't see it happen. At least I don't hear it happen with a lot of my male friends. They're very dismissive or abrasive. You can let somebody down with tact, but oftentimes, I was in Chicago just last weekend, and I asked someone to take a picture of my nephew and I, and she said, "I'm not no photographer. You can't just be coming up asking me, do you see me?" I was like, and don't get me wrong, she was very pretty. There was a lot of beautiful women there. But she was just like super abrasive. Like it was like I should be thrilled to be in her presence. And one of my good friends just literally gunned down one of my other friends. Same principle. Straight gunned his ass down. Bow, bow, bow. And you know, it just gives you the feeling that, you know, nobody's better than anyone else. You know, I mean, I understand that we have people that are not compatible with other people, but, you know, I think that we can all do it with tact. So again, dating etiquette should probably dictate If there's someone that you feel like is out of your league, then you can respectfully let him down, as opposed to making him feel like he should be paying you to even communicate with you. I think that's what DJ was saying with that. That's very open close, so I'll just keep it moving off that. But Crystal, that does not mean that anyone is hurt in the group, because again, we're talking about etiquette. So if you're out of somebody's league, you don't have to say, "Get your hurt ass out of my inbox." You say, "I'm not interested." Right? That's the etiquette. That's the appropriate etiquette. Melody, don't start. Yes, for a picture. Like literally, we were sitting there and I said, "Hey, can you take our picture?" And the first time, I just thought she didn't hear me. But now in hindsight, I think she was ignoring me. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But, Cora, leave that man who's intact to try again. Colleen, you know what? Maybe if I asked her to be in it, then maybe she would. But literally, I was blown away. She was like, "I'm not no photographer." I was like, "I don't need you to be a photographer. I just want you to just click the shit." We found somebody to take a picture. Oh, sorry, it's all good. That is not ego. I think that's again, there's a right way and a wrong way to talk to people, and I think that is a forgotten art. You know, everything doesn't have to be, you know, with your lip turned up. Everything doesn't have to be so cruel. Everyone is out of someone's league. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Mary, golden rule, right? Yes, I thought that the person was ignoring me, but maybe they weren't. So John, oh no, I'm sorry, I gotta do a lady now. Denise Sean. Denise says, "Is there different dating etiquettes for different age groups?" Wait, hold on. Let me read this real quick. Kimberly, I had a gentleman on Saturday chatting me up that I was like no way interested. However, I sat and talked to him just being friendly, but he took that as an invitation to go further. So what's the proper way to let someone down? I don't like to hurt people's feelings. All right. So I think there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, I appreciate the conversation, but I'm just not interested." Because I mean, there's always gonna be someone that's a little bitter about it. You know what I mean? So that's gonna happen. I don't think no one's gonna get out of there unscathed. But I mean, again, I would rather have someone say, "Hey, I'm not interested in the conversation. I'm not interested in you," as opposed to saying, "Psh, nah, get out of my face." No, I don't think that's right. Let me scroll through a little bit. Steve Snow, ego. That's a bitch, right? Steve Snow, don't want something from him or her right now that you're not in a healthy place to give them in return. Seems like there's a notion that if men want to pursue women, we have to work for them. Steve, bro. Steve's knocking it out of the park today. Knocking it out of the park. So Denise says, "Is there a different dating etiquette for different age groups?" Let me tag her real quick. I think this is a really good question. Why is her name not coming up? Am I spelling her name wrong? Okay, so Denise, forgive me. Oh, there you go. Got her tagged. Okay. Is there, repeat the question. Um, is there different dating etiquette for different age groups? Should there be? Um, I think that there is, absolutely. I think that, um, and I think, Crystal, maybe you can help me with the age groups here. We always talk about the age diversity in the group, or sometimes the lack of. Should there be a different dating etiquette for different age groups? Or is there? I say yes, there is. The question now becomes, what is it? Essentially, this simply goes to what's more accepted in one age bracket versus the other. I think that maybe, obviously, so Melanie says not at all. Should there be a different? Maybe. Obviously, if you're 20, your approach to dating may be different than it is at 40. Therefore, your approach and the things that you accept are indeed different. You may immediately gun down a concept at 40 that you would entertain at 20, unless you're one of those super mature 20-year-olds. So I think the etiquette is different. Just like my approach at 50 may be different than at 40. So absolutely, I think that there is a different etiquette. You may care less about one's physical features at 50, as opposed to that may have been the forefront of your things that you wanted at 30. So, I mean, I think that there is a different etiquette. I think that from a core standpoint, those things, respect, I think that regardless of your age, no woman wants unsolicited dick pics, and, no woman, I would tell my daughter, I wouldn't want my daughter at 20 to be entertaining sexual talk too soon, or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, I think that there's a core things that translate throughout the generations, if you would. But absolutely, I think there's a different approach. Approach and etiquette are two different things. Sometimes, but it's more about maturity. So if we talk about etiquette, the things that should be done, again, the question is there different dating etiquette? Well, the answer to the question, I believe, is yes. 30, Crystal, 30 is okay with texting. 40 say they call. 30s go on different dates. 40, they still on dinner and a movie. 30, we move quick. 40, they have multiple homes, different investments. Crystal, I like that. I'm going to give you a co-front runner for text of the day, or post of the day. So those things are I think, just being in a different place mentally, the etiquette has to change. Communication, courting, consistency should be at all ages. That's etiquette. Well, again, as I mentioned, there are core values that translate across the board. Those are very good examples of that. Lakeisha, Lance, valuable points. You will teach your daughter you have set the model. You better know it, Lakeisha. She's yours too. Can we have the granddaddies out of my inbox, please? Well, Crystal, if you got it, you got it. Lance, don't mean to disappoint you. Children at least bring up sex once. The "Are you a virgin?" question comes up. Absolutely, absolutely. And all I can do is my best to prepare, my daughter for those type of situations and questions. One thing that's important to me is that at least she will have some sort of preparation. Like I'm not naive about my daughter. I'm not. I feel like I have a very good pulse check with her, so we'll be prepared. And all I can do is touch the young lady, and hope that she makes good choices. So, Makisha, generational. However, it is also about how you've been raised and by whom. Agreed. All right, so let me scroll down here. Kaylee, hey. And them boys give punches. I play no games about our daughter. Yes, thank you. So I'm gonna move on. And since Cora is on here, and it's funny because Cora, we had a split on this. Again, dating etiquette. One of the things that she suggested is try to get a video chat ASAP to avoid catfishing. Now, here's the thing. As soon as she said this, like 3 posts later, someone said, avoid this. So ladies and gentlemen, where are you on this this video chat? Can you use this in luau of seeing each other? Can you do that? Are you okay with saying, okay, well, you know what, we've texted enough, let's set up a video to see how we vibe face to face if you can't really get face to face? Is that acceptable? What is your take on it? I think the video chat is a good idea, by the way, personally. It allows you to, again, you want to be able to see a person, you want to be able to see their mannerisms. And again, this is not a substitute, but I mean, it may be a band-aid. You guys may be tied up, just squeeze in a quick video chat, may be good. But I'd like to know your take on it. Denise, you're a fan of the video chat. Appreciate that. Michelle, don't randomly video chat me. Someone called me the other day at work. Arrange a time. So you're on board as long as you arrange a time. Okay. Men be hiding those stomachs. Oh shit. Okay. I had a long distance relationship and we lived on FaceTime. But to begin dating online, hell, I want a video chat ASAP. Okay. So I think that Denise may want a video chat for different reasons. Want to make sure. Now I will say this. And I want to go down a rabbit hole. But Denise, historically, I believe that women do that more than guys. All my heavy friends, they keep it a blade. The picture shows all of them, and I think the women kind of do the. I saw it was really funny. It was like a cat, and it showed like it said like Facebook profile picture, and it showed like the face. It was like a face of a cat, and then it showed like the cat was like fat. But I mean, I won't go down there. But since you brought it up, it made me laugh a little bit. Kimberly Michelle, I like the video chat. Whenever it's long distance or not, it's just another way to stay connected. And men be fishing. All right. Katie, I travel a lot, so I definitely do the video chat. It's much more personable. I agree. Video chat will help alleviate surprises. I agree. So it sounds like everybody's on board with the video chat. I would have never thought that everyone was such an advocate for it. Gut in the leggings, Mary. Okay, I won't touch that. Jerry, I'm not going there with you. So Kaylee Johnson and Crystal had the same concern. Don't be calling me sexy. Don't hate beautiful. And I'm gonna put this all together. Don't hate beautiful or what you doing me to death. So you are beautiful, yet you do not want to be told you're beautiful, or use the term "hey beautiful," which I think "hey anything," "hey pretty," "hey beautiful," "hey whatever," those all out the door. So you want "hey Crystal" or "hey Kaylee." When is it okay to call somebody beautiful? I'm just curious because, I mean, if I think you're beautiful, I think you're beautiful. What's wrong with telling you that? I'm sure someone's going to tell me the right way to say it. Well, you know what? Cora just said, use my name. Damn it. Fair enough. Yes, I hate that shit. It bothers me so much, Melanie. All right. Why do you guys hate it? Is it literally just a matter of them not using your name that bothers you, or is there really something more to it? Do you feel like they tell everyone that they're beautiful, or is it literally just, so if they said, hey ma'am, you'd be okay with it? Or help me understand. I'm gonna wait for the answers. I'm taking it out of context. Hey beautiful. Why am I taking it out of context? What's the problem with what I just said? That's how you mean it, right? That's the appropriate context. Hey beautiful, how's your day? Right? Tell me the crime in that. It's a compliment. We are now complaining about compliments. So I want to understand, why is it bad? Mary says it's being overused. Well, to be very honest with you, Mary, there's only so many ways to call somebody beautiful if that's what you believe they are. Hey you, player intro. It feels passive and impersonal. It's not original. It's cliche as fuck. I don't mind beautiful, but don't say hey sexy. Use it too much. How do you know the person uses it too much? It just sounds like a really... Maurice nailed it. Hey handsome. Double standard. Hey handsome. Let me tell you this. And it's crazy because we live in the South, which people use the term like hun, or other terms of endearment all the time. So it's a little weird that people find this so offensive. Beautiful is fine. It just maybe sexy. Sexy might be a bit much. But I mean, if you're sexy, you're sexy. That to me is no different than calling a spade a spade. You're sexy, you're sexy. And you know what? I should be able to say that without you flying off the handle. And Lewis, they'll miss the validation when it's not there anymore. Hey, why don't you call me beautiful anymore? Why don't you? Am I not sexy to you? Well, I mean, I don't know. Seems like that's a tough. Okay, Crystal. Hey, beautiful. What you doing? So tell me what's wrong with that. I need to know what the problem is. I want to know what you're doing. How many ways can I say what you're doing? That's exactly what I want to know. What are you doing? Hey, beautiful, because I think you're beautiful. What are you doing? So if you say, hey, I'm just gonna run through some quick scenarios. Hey, I'm having dinner. What are you having? What's your favorite food? Hey, I'm shopping. What store are you at? What do you like to shop for? What's your favorite designer? Hey, I'm parasailing. Really, I enjoy parasailing. Where are you doing that at? Hey, I'm cooking. What are you cooking? What's your specialty? What's so wrong with what you're doing? Fill me in on this, what you're doing. It's such, I see people, don't what you doing me. Well, how will I know what the hell you're doing if I don't ask what you're doing? Lance, are you serious? I know you don't believe it's okay to say, hey, sexy. I don't lead with, hey, sexy. I see people all the time refer to women, hey, sexy, they stop and talk to them. So, it ain't all that damn bad. But I wouldn't, again, dating etiquette, very new. I would not lead with that, to be honest with you. I'm just saying that it is such a travesty, though. That's all I'm saying. I find you sexy, and I say, hey, sexy. Why are you gonna fly off the handle? Why is this even a conversation? Why is this so bad that we gotta have a conversation with it online? I don't know if it's that deep. Jennifer says, not the same thing. You get a what you doing text, answer the text, and then 20 minutes later you get another one. Okay, well that would aggravate the shit out of me too. So I feel you. If that's the way you're getting to what you're doing, then that makes sense. I'm just giving you examples of when I ask someone what you're doing. It's funny because I had a friend for 20 years, and she took such an offense to what you're doing that she I guess for lack of better words warned me, and I said it one day and she got so mad because it was just something like I use it a lot because again I just gave you some examples. I want to know what you're doing because that determines hey, do I want to call you, are you busy, so on and so forth. And so I'm a big what you doing person. And she stopped talking to me. She literally 20 years friend. She stopped talking to me. She's come back and apologized since then, but yeah, 20 years. She dismissed me over that stupid shit. Those follow-up questions don't happen, Mary. Steve Snow, it seems like when one or a few have a problem with something, they all eventually will convince themselves it's a problem. Well, there might be some truth to that for sure. Colleen says, I think the problem comes when there's no conversation after the initial question. So that seems to be a reoccurring theme there. And I agree that seems to be very problematic for a lot of you women. You get to what you're doing and there's nothing after it. So, Melanie, I'm about to curse. Asking what you're doing is fine, but getting what you're doing text every day in the dating phase, usually with the dudes who don't have any action to back it up, wasting my damn time. Don't be wasting that damn time. You heard it here first. I started sending what you're doing text to all my dudes to see how they liked it. Well, if anybody sends me a what you're doing text, I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm playing a game. Hey, I got a game. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing. And then with that information, you go with it from there. Women have PTSD from what you're doing text. Okay. What you're doing is on my nerve when that's all you have to say. Why not type out the words? Now, see, you being petty, Tiffany. You being petty. What is the difference if you know what you're doing means what you're doing? I ain't got time to text all that shit. I don't know how many characters it is, but what you're doing is much more convenient. You swipe. Boom. Done. Doesn't mean I love you any less if I say what you're doing versus what are you doing. I used to use it to determine if we can have a phone conversation right now. very practical approach. Maurice says, weed those people out. I always ask wonderful questions before and after what you're doing. Right, so don't charge it to everybody. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. So what else you got to say? Or after I tell you, are you following up? But they don't. Okay. Well, guys, as a culture, we have to change that. We have to be able to talk to these women after post what you're doing. We got to bring something to talk about. You know. And so for that, it's a process, ladies. Give us time. We're gonna change it. So I'm gonna bounce over to something that's very big in the men world. Etiquette do's and don'ts. This is from Jerome Tucker. Do not send Cash App information. Do not send Cash App information. I would imagine that this is something that a lot of men deal with all the time. Because I see people post their Cash Apps all the time. I know you guys can't see me, but send me money for lunch. Cash App. And there's nothing wrong with blessing somebody. I'm not saying that at all. But if we're talking about etiquette, if talking about sex is too soon, you asking me for money may be too soon. Maybe. You know what? I'm gonna just leave that shit as is. I think that we can all agree in the dating process, I don't really think I should be seeing your Cash App in my inbox early in the process. That goes without saying. Because if a man put his shit in your inbox, you probably screenshot that shit and tell the world. Wait, now come on now. We all see friends that be posting this shit. Now, if they post it on their page, what make you think they won't drop it in a man's inbox? Right? It shows no effect. I hate HBD even more. Tiffany, you know what? We all have our quirks. Maybe that, and I'm not saying that that's. We all have our preferences. Melanie, thank you for your Cash App. Thank you. Not for someone you're getting to know. Okay. Colleen, I'm not really on the dating scene for a reason, but I've seen people do it. I cannot. She's already summed it up. You a big ass simp. Oh, Jennifer, you like that song? What you know about that right there? You don't know about that, man. You don't know about that. So, I mean, that is something that plagues guys. So, you know. So it's 9:43. Let me see. Do I want to go? I'm gonna do one more. And then we can talk about all the shit that we talked about. And this is from my boy Trey. Trey is one of my teammates. Great guy. But we're talking about etiquette. And for Trey, don't assume that every man is single. Some men actually claim they're girlfriends. Now let me say something really good about Trey. Trey is very vocal about his girlfriend. And he often says that she is the only woman that can deal with his Aquarianness. And I think we've all identified. Yes, Crystal, your Jennifer is in the group chat. So when you slide into someone's inbox, a man's inbox, don't assume that he's single. So ask the question. Just don't dive in like every guy is single, because honestly, there are some guys that actually do claim their girlfriends. Michelle, I'm not sure what the O is about, but you know what? I'm just gonna move off that. But yes, y'all, wow. Let me check these messages over here. Who is Trey Child? You know what? While you bullshit, let's get his ass on. Ain't nothing. Boom. My computer be acting so stupid sometimes. Boom. So this is Trey. In there. Bam. All right. Is he the one that posted his girl in the thighs post? I don't know. I don't typically fool around with those posts. So. Okay, so we got 15 minutes approximately to he's attractive, but that don't mean everybody want him. I think he was just simply saying in general, people, assume that he is single. They don't bother to ask. But you should see Trey come play. So we play. Oh, I'll miss the game because I'll be in Florida. But we play a tough team for first place at Covenant on Saturday. Trey will be in there going to get it. Yes, and that's how it's supposed to be right there. Let me give you a little light there, Levette. Okay, so again, this is why this is 3 segments, because we covered a lot of shit today, and it's literally just the tip of the iceberg. So I'll be back at it next week. I don't know what day yet. I'll keep y'all posted, but. Absolutely, people have big egos, Crystal. Absolutely. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. If you are praying folks, please pray for my son. He lost his grandfather recently. So just pray for the Dixon family and my son. If you are, again, a praying variety. September 27th, Firewater. October 25th, Halloween party, Firewater. Again, working for a spot for Monday Night Football. Details coming soon. First game, I believe, is a doubleheader on September 9th or 6th. And plug the bracelet. Boom. My girl Michelle. Again, she did these 2 and this one. Let me think who else I can plug. My boy Brandon Jones. for your fitness needs. Trainer Fletch, Ricky, trainer, both good trainers. My boy Nate Sean for photography. My girl Lonnie Miguel for any of your cooking and catering needs. Genovia for t-shirts. Lindsay for t-shirts. Nothing at Blue Olive scheduled. That's all I can think of. If any of you guys have anything that you're selling, any products, drop that shit in the feed, and hopefully we can get you guys some business. Community service coming soon. My girl Crystal is going to head that. I don't know if that's your Michelle, but Michelle did my bracelets. She did a great job. Also, I know for sure I want to do some volunteer work at Operation Christmas Child. We'll roll that out soon to start getting a head count now, because you got to get on their calendars very early. And let me see. No, I wasn't playing her CD. That was just on my list. For discussion and reference purposes, how did the topic of sex come up with your last sexual partner? How did that conversation come up? I don't know if I asked a question, but I mean, I'm sure I might have just asked, you know, about a preference or something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really have those type of problems, because I talk about so much shit. So nobody really is like, he just wants ass. Like, nobody really like comes to me like that. I'm not gonna use the term "it came organically," because again, I may have just asked, you know. So it could have been something as simple as, have you ever had sex in a moving car, some shit like that. I don't know. So, but I will think about it and give you a more definitive answer. I don't want to shoot you a lie, so I'll think about it. And Libra party. I don't even know what month is Libra's in. What time is the game? Sean, I don't know, but I will post it as soon as I look it up. I mean, we got a schedule, I just don't know. Melanie, let's see. Wait. Can I shout out? Damn, I just saw something that said. Melanie wants her Cash App shouted out. If y'all want to send my girl some money, shoot it to her. $. Wait, type it one more time, Melanie. I can't scroll all the way up. Was it just Melanie Walker? $, Melanie Walker? Get that girl. Pay that girl. You know somebody brought to life when they look in the air for answers. Oh, yeah. With me, because men are always walking on thin ice. With women, I'm feeling you. I'll bring it up myself. I mean, again, I think there's nothing wrong with maybe just like you walking in. I mean, just you casually fall into it. But I do understand what you ladies are saying. I can only speak from my perspective and my experiences, and so, you know, and that's why I defer to you. You know, and say, hey, you know, tell me about your experiences. Help us understand. Don't answer that. Lance, hook me up. Winter coming. I got you. I mean, if I can do it for you, I will. Whatever, you know, whatever it is. We will have a formal event too. I can tell you that's projected in November. Something formal, so we can, you know, throw on the little blazers and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but guys, this is a great live. I'll be looking. I'm gonna go through some more of the questions, more of the statements that we had, and I'll put it together for next week. No, I didn't say no more blue. I'm just saying that I don't have anything on the schedule for blue. I'll speak, you know, I'll speak with those people and get something set up. But I think that's it. I mean, we were on an hour and 40 minutes. I appreciate it. I mean, you guys were awesome. I enjoyed it. Got me over here sweating because I can't turn my fan on. My air is on, but I guess maybe the lights got me hot as hell. Got me over here suntanning and shit. Mary, how do you bring up whether or not a man believes in licking it before he sticks it? Mary, that is a great question. Let me tell you, maybe Thursday would be an ideal day for that. You know, Whitney, have a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll do it again soon. I appreciate you guys. I will tell Mary she need to take her ass to bed. Winnie said, take your ass to bed.